Hey there, first of all, thank you for joining my Patreon page. It really means a lot to me that you took the time to find me and now you're joining my lessons. Now, my first course is going to be called Intro to Guitar Performance. I'm going to be uploading weekly lessons. Things we're going to cover are going to be especially fretboard knowledge. We're going to be covering major triads, minor triads, the cage system, how to spread the triads, suspended chords, etc. Now, we're going to take our time with these concepts. Fretboard knowledge requires time to sink in, but it's the best way to get better at guitar. You don't need to spend 10 hours practicing scales to get better at guitar. Just understanding the fretboard is going to make you a better guitar player. So we're going to start easy here. Two concepts. First concept is going to be to learn our notes on the 6th string. It's important that we learn especially notes in the 5th and the 6th string because most of the time when we build chords, our root is around the 5th or the 6th string. For example, if I play this C minor chord, I know this is C minor because my root on the 5th string is C, right? On the 3rd fret. If I go to B major, 6th string, I know this is B major because my root on the 6th string, 7th fret is B major, and so on. Most of the time when we're building chords are around bar chords with the root on the 6th string or bar chords with the root on the 5th string. Now, music has 12 notes, right? Those 12 notes are divided by range. If I pluck the 6th string, I have a pitch. If I go to the 12th fret where the two dots are, that's a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning the distance from here to here is half as the distance from here to here. That means if I play the open string and I run all over the frets till I reach the 12th fret, I have played the 12 notes of music. I'm back on E, right? Now we're gonna play those 12 notes but following a specific pattern, meaning we're gonna move in fours. Meaning we're playing the circle of 5th, but instead of going clockwise, we're gonna go counterclockwise. Now, why am I going counterclockwise in fours? Our instrument is tuned in fours. If I see the distance from the 6th string to the 5th string, it's a 4, right? I go E, F, G, and A. If I go from the 5th string to the 4th string, A, B, and C, and so on. The only time this doesn't happen is from the 3rd string to the 2nd string. I'm going G, A, and B. That's the only time it doesn't happen. But also, again, from the 2nd string to the 1st string, I got a 4th again. Now, the first thing I want to do is memorize this note. At the beginning, of course, you want to look at the paper, but you really want to memorize these notes. So I'm going to start with C at 12 o'clock. I got C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and I'm back on C. Now let's make this exercise a little bit more challenging. Let's add a little bluesy lick here. I'm going to start on C, right? So I got the root on C, then I'm going to go to the 5th. Now the 5th of C is always a whole step up, one string down. And here we're going to grab the 3rd and I'm going to bring in an octave higher. So I'm going to skip a string and I'm going to go to the 8th fret of the 3rd string. That's a spread triad, meaning if I have a normal triad, root, minor 3rd, and 5th, I'm going to grab the 3rd and bring in an octave higher. So now I'm going to have root, 5th, I'm going to skip a string and I'm going to have the minor 3rd here. Now the blues is all about combining the minor and the major first. So now I'm going to go root, 5th, minor 3rd, half step up to major 3rd. Then with the first finger I'm going to go to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Then I'm going to run the scale here. I'm going to go 8, 10, 11, and then I'm going to finish in the root again. So if I play, I'm going to have this. That's for C, right? It fits perfectly on a C7 chord or a C major chord. Okay, so now what we want to do is play this lick all over the 12 keys. Again, the first thing you want to do is memorize the notes, right? C, F, B flat, E flat, and so on. Now you want to play all over the 12 keys. You want to go C to F to B flat, and so on. Now here's an example of the 12 notes on the 6th string. Now, second concept, let's talk about triads. Back in music school, I remember when my teacher told me, how many ways can you play C major? I knew how to do it like this. I could also do it like this. I could also do it like this. And I remember I also got this fancy way of playing with a third on the bass. He was like, oh, cool, cool. And then he told me, let me show you how many ways I can do it. So he started doing this. And then he starts doing things like this. Now, I remember I was really blown away by this concept. What he was doing was dividing the guitar in groups of threes, strings 1, 2, and 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6. And also learning the triads in all their inversions, meaning root position, first inversion, and second inversion. Today we're just going to play on strings 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you have an extra guitar, you can take away strings 6, 5, and 4, and you just have a free string guitar. Maybe you're a little bit more challenged to don't go over those strings, right? So again, if you have an extra guitar, why not do that? Now for this example, I'm going to use a chord progression in the key of C. I'm going to go D minor to G major to C major and to A minor. So now on strings 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to find C major to start with. Always start at C major, right? It's our 12 o'clock note. So now C major, root position, strings 1, 2, and 3. C major root position, I'm going to have this. All right, now this triad, again, you're going to see why it's important to learn your notes on the 5th and the 6th string. How do you find this triad? All you need to know is that C is on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And you're going to locate this triad because you got C, 3rd fret, 5th string. You go a whole step up to the 5th fret, 2 strings down, and you have the octave, right? You got root, you got the 3rd, and you got the 5th. That means if you know your notes on the 5th string, for example, you know that F is on the 8th fret of the 5th string, you can play F major here. You know that B flat is on the 1st fret of the 5th string, you can play B flat major. So again, always this root position triad, you find it by knowing your root on the 5th string. The next triad, again an easy one, is going to be this one. It's a first inversion C major. Now if you know that C is on the 8th fret of the 6th string, you can find this triad. Right? Again, you can go to F, 1st fret of the 6th string, and then you got F major. You also want to recognize it because it comes from this big bar chord. But here we are doubling notes. We don't want to double notes. We just want to play the root, the 3rd, and the 5th one time. In this case, it's a first inversion, so I got 3rd, 5th, and root. Now the next one is the hardest one to find, right? It's going to be this one, 12th fret. It's like a D-shaped chord. But instead of being the open classic D, you go to the 12th fret and you have C. Now, how do you find this triad? The easiest way for me to find it is like this. So, for example, I'm going to go back to this C major first inversion. I know that the 6th string is C. That means that the 1st string is also going to be C, right? So here I have C, I have the 5th, and I have the 3rd. So if I have C on the 1st string, doesn't matter if it's major and minor, you can always go a whole step up. And then you have 2 roads here. If you go a half step up, it's a minor triad. And if you go a whole step up, it's a major triad, meaning the major 3rd. So if I go a whole step up, that's where I'm going to play that guy. I land my middle finger here on that major 3rd, and I can create this second inversion triad. That is like a D major shape. For example, I'm in G, right? I find G on the 6th string. Here is G. Now I'm going to play my triad. That's the one, again, from the big open chord, right? The big bar chord, sorry. So I'm not going to double notes. I'm going to have bar on strings 1, 2, and then I got my middle finger on the 4th fret of the 1st string. Now, I know that the 6th string is G. That means the 1st string is G. Again, I go a whole step up to the 2nd note, and because it's major with my middle finger, I go another whole step up, and then I create a D major shape. So now I have G major 2nd inversion. That's how you find this shape. So if I go back to C major, I'm going to have this. You want to practice coming back too. So now let's do the same but with a minor chord. So let's talk about D minor, that is the 2 chord of C major. Now the first triad is an easy one, right? We always learn this open chord, the classic D minor open chord. In this case, we don't want a double note, so we don't play the 4th string. We just go strings 1, 2, and 3. Again, second inversion triad, that means I have the 5th, I have the root, and I have the minor 3rd. Next triad, Again, I'm gonna keep that concept that I know my notes on the 5th string. I know that the 5th fret of the 5th string is D. Again, whole step up, 2 strings down is the root, an octave higher, and here I have this guy, root position, right? Now I got the root, the minor 3rd because it's a minor triad, and the 5th. And the last one, I find my D note on the 6th string, in this case 10th fret, and I'm just gonna bar the 10th fret, strings 1, 2, and 3. And I got D minor here. So now I have this. Now here what's easy to find this D minor, that again is the hardest triad to find, apart from D minor because we learned this as an open chord. But the concept again is the same. I'm gonna find this D minor but in another place of the guitar with the concept of finding where your root on the 6th string is. So I'm gonna go again, D, 10th fret of the 6th string. Here I have the D note. So I'm gonna create a triad that means for minor. In this case it's gonna be here, the little bar, right? Strings 1, 2, and 3. So now if D is here, that means D is also gonna be here. They're the same note, 6th string and 1st string. Now always go a whole step up to the 2nd note, and this time it's minor. So instead of going a whole step up, I'm gonna go a half step up with my 1st finger. So I'm in the minor 3rd, and now I can create this 2nd inversion D minor, right? This guy is exactly the same as this guy, just an octave higher. Now here I'm missing 2 chords. I'm missing G major and I'm missing A minor. Now for G major, again, I'm gonna have this. The closest G that I have to this C major root position is gonna be this one, 1st inversion. Again, how do I find this one? I know that G is here, 1st fret of the 6th string. I'm gonna go to this one. Then the concept again, where is G? It's on the 1st string, always a whole step up to the 2nd note. And again, because it's major, another whole step up, but with my middle finger, so I can create this D major shaped triad, but in G. It's again a 2nd inversion G major. And the last one is gonna be this one. 1st inversion. No, sorry, root position. And how do I know that? Again, I know my root on the 5th string. That's a G note. 10th fret of the 5th string, whole step up, 2 strings down, the octave. I got G major here. So now for G major I have this. And last one, A minor. So A minor is gonna go like this. 1st inversion, again A, 6th string. Now A here, 1st string, whole step up, half step up, because it's minor. And here comes D minor shape. Again, it's not D minor, it's just a shape of D minor because we're used to this shape when we learn an open chord. But because it's on the 8th fret, it's an A minor. And then the last one is gonna be this one, root position. Again, I know that A is on the 12th fret of the 5th string. I go to this triad. So now I'm gonna have this for A. Now, following the order of the chord progression, in this case D, G, C, and A, that's a 2, 5, 1, 6. I'm gonna always try to play the closest triad to each other. So if I'm starting in this D minor, that's the 2 chord, I'm gonna go to this G major, and I'm gonna go to this C major, this is the closest, and I'm gonna go to this A minor. Back to the loop, D minor here, the closest, to G major, to C major, to A minor. And the last one, D minor, to G major, to C major, and to A minor, and I'm back on D minor. Now here's an example of the triads on strings 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm gonna send you a backing track with this. First the 12 notes on the 6th string, and also the triads on strings 1, 2, and 3. I think that's a lot of information to start with. You can just play around. If you get comfortable, just start changing keys, you know. Next time we're gonna jump to the 5th string, and then you wanna jump to strings 2, 3, and 4. I hope you like the lesson and see you next time.